This is just a quick story about an incident that happened to me last week, and it's finally resolved. And basically, what happened was it was the day after Mother's Day, and I have a couple of cars, and I was using a car that I don't use too often, and I didn't have the Bluetooth hooked up like I do in all my other cars, and like I said, it was the day after Mother's Day, and I was driving to one of my businesses, which is a pretty local place, and I was going down a pretty quiet street. Actually, Michael Bolton lives on the street, a singer. That's another story. It's like 15 miles an hour, and I'm driving, and I stop at a stop sign, and my mother called me, and my phone was, just right side up, and it said mom cell. And I don't know about you guys, but when my mother calls, I answer the phone. It's like no matter how old we are, if we're lucky to have mom still alive, we take their calls. And I was at a stop sign anyway, and with that, I answer the phone. And all of a sudden, there's like a banging on my passenger window, and I look, and it's a policeman. And he says, as loud as anything, "Pull the F over." And I said, "What?" He says, "Pull the F over." Like it was like ridiculous. So I said, "Mom, I'm going to call you back." And I pulled over right in front of the stop sign. I just pulled over on the grass. The guy comes over like a crazy Barney Fife. I've never seen anything like it. He's like, "You were talking on your effing phone." I said, "Officer, all due respect, you're right. Okay, I tried to explain about the Bluetooth." I says, "You're right. My mother called. It's a day after Mother's Day. I didn't see her on Mother's Day. It's none of your business, I guess. Whatever." I says, "But there's no need to curse at me here." And he goes, "I'll do whatever the F I want." And again, like this is like the third F word. I'm like, "Why are you so upset?" I said, "I was at a dead stop. And again, I was talking, so give me a ticket, but you don't gotta, get crazy." He goes, "You don't tell me what to do. Another second, you'll be pulled out of that car and you'll really be sorry." And I said, "Listen, I'm not going to be pulled out of the car. Give me the ticket. I'm the one who's calm. You're the one who's cursing at me." And he said again, "I'll talk any effing way I want to, buddy." Now, I had a little ace up my sleeve, and I don't like to use things all the time. I like to keep favors for when I seriously need them. And the ace up the sleeve is I'm best friends with the chief of police in town. I mean, really good friends. And I didn't want to say it at that point. I probably should have, and it would have shut him the hell up and just give me the ticket. It was a $150 ticket for talking on a cell phone. Big deal. And whatever, I probably would have got it squashed anyway. But the guy proceeded to take my license and registration. And again, it's not a car I use all the time, so I had my license handy. And as I'm pulling my license out of my wallet, he's even saying, "Hurry the F up." And I'll just show you, actually. It's just like I keep my wallet like jammed in like a, one of these kind of things, and sometimes it's a little effort to take the license out. And I'm like, I'm doing it. You could see I'm taking it out. And the guy was just freaking crazy. So finally I give him the license. Then I open up my dashboard, and he's like tapping on my door, like, so impatient. I'm like, there's not another car in sight. It's not like you got much to get back to. Again, this was a quiet road, 15 miles an hour. Anyway, so I rummage through the thing while he's, being impatient to me, and I find the registration. I hand him the registration. And I said, "Officer," I says, "again, I apologize. I know you're just doing your job." And he goes, "I didn't tell you to talk." And I'm like, damn. I was like, something's really got your goat. I said, "But you're making a mistake here." And he's like, "Is that a threat?" I'm like, "Not at all. Not a threat." And all the while, I kept my hands on my steering wheel. And I wasn't a threat. This guy looked like a psycho, quite frankly. Like he's going to whip out his Glock and shoot me for talking on a cell phone. Anyway, so he comes back after a couple of minutes, and he literally takes my wallet and takes the register, throws it in the open passenger window onto the seat, and he goes, "Here's your ticket. Pay it by the 26th, otherwise you're in big trouble." I said, "Well, okay. I don't think it's big trouble. It's a ticket. I talked on the phone. I didn't murder anyone. And he's like, you know, you got an attitude. I said, I'm sorry to say, you got the attitude here. I said, again, I was wrong. I talked to my mother on the phone, and that's it. Anyway, so I proceeded to go off on my merry way. And then I figured, what the heck? Let me call my buddy and tell him what happened. Anyway, I called him up. And he's like, are you serious? The guy actually cursed at you? I'm like, yeah. And we're talking about, this is a nice town. This is not like the slums here. This is like a pretty nice area here. There's no reason for that guy to be talking to me like that because I answered a phone. And he goes, no, you're absolutely right. And this and that. Anyway, the guy wound up denying it. So what we did was we met for coffee, me, the cop, and the chief. And I asked him right to his face. I was like, listen, I'm going to pay the ticket. I don't give a crap about that. I says, it's just the fact that you didn't need to call me the F word like 5 times, you know, because I was talking to my mother on the phone. And finally the guy says, you know what, I had a bad day and blah, 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 blah. But of course he was, you know, scared for his job because he didn't realize I was friends with the police chief. And then he said, you know, why didn't you even say at the time? I says, because I didn't think it was necessary while you were cursing at me to do that. And anyway, it just shows you sometimes, like, I have all the respect in the world for police officers, but damn, sometimes they like abuse their power. And you know what? If you're having a bad day, you're having a personal problem, I don't know, take a sick day, call in sick. The world would have went on if, you know, traffic would have continued on this 15-mile-an-hour little lane through a, you know, nice little town in Connecticut. Anyway, so regardless to say, the guy apologized. We shook hands. Ticket got unprocessed, let's just say, and life goes on. But just a quick story. I don't know. I'm going to put this again in the can't make this crap up thing. I don't know why people are constantly, you know, getting on my case. I try to live a good, clean, healthy life and do unto others as you would do unto yourself. But I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thanks for watching. Quick story, and thanks for listening to me rant. Appreciate it.